Good morning, Jules.
Good morning, good morning. How's the weather in the big city this morning?
You know, we got a lot of snow overnight, and so my husband was out with his snowblower trying to get all the snow because we get the big trucks come by our house at the end of the driveway and they dump all the snow from the top of the street. So,
and you have to redo everything.
He had to redo it. He did.
Well, good morning, Anne, and thank you for coming to our on air. And first of all, I guess maybe you could just talk about the work that you're into and maybe a group that you're with, CPAWS. What is it that you do? Go ahead, Anna.
Great. Well, thanks. Good morning, Jules, and thanks for having me. I work for an organization that is a not-for-profit charity. We're a conservation group. We work to protect lands and resources in Ontario. We have been around since 1968, and our full name is CPAWS Wildlands League. And we have a particular expertise in dealing with industrial development and the impact of that on the boreal forest, in the boreal region, and on the wildlife that live there. So we are a solutions group. That means that we roll up our sleeves and we learn an issue inside out, and we try to provide solutions with all governments and First Nations and the public, and that's who we are.
We know Umutuigi gon kana pastigi mahmana tenisnista boga gaisho ichi tugutte here to kiskin to take on gaisi sinui mahi hogi gon ga mamsagi utti here that was good gistiet to ski no mrs boga sisina hogi gon ni kuma gandin da tina ga sickness te gogo and magaisi na but this is the naho Mr. Bogun had a gostiskin the hagi gon this stage apatisima to good the gistu gimao gaisi and the Maganista sit gig on a jigiosti giskin the heckbook was in the Hanak. So it's got 1968, Chango Sapni, and got Tossabitania and Neo, and the Gohafti static over now, but this sickness to Magoti. Did you hear Sam? What I see, we miss a hoti, the Hinis, the Mr. Gohit, the here, a sinis the Maga. Maat käisi in nostimia konaatines the boreal forest käisi hätti käisi mä minasik maat tutti skiutti pitsin äpistoti tihikiutti nokke kuane maage ei näpettisit. So I guess now you have been working on a report that you just come out, and which one would this be? This involves the Beers Company and I guess the work that they're doing up there in the north of the Dovskat River.
Yeah, so we wanted to look at a simple question. How are the monitoring results? What are the monitoring results from the Victor Diamond Mine? It had been several years since it had been in operation, and we thought, okay, let's take a look. And as we took a look, we started to realize very quickly that the company was not reporting on 5 out of 9 surface water monitoring stations. Mm-hmm. And these are in the creeks that are directly framing the mine site. And so we were shocked.
That was good kind of it's a good day, doesn't it? But the hickness was I had to go on. I see he still take that was good money higgin, they get to cute enough picture nest market the beer scout there. And it's the man out the boga, which Manano who did to gig on Scotbo, he takes out Maga, not the git him a mistake, Mr. Higano, coming out in the city, but to go on a case, Tassini to the Hoban, of Jonah shot to go take one out the nest on a shona, Hikomaga. Sank man out to gig on the Dagonachi when you put starting that was good to match almost in Hegano at the I thought the heck. This the Maga, she Hispanic man out to gig on, and the ghost when they got the Hemona Hegano, Hegomaga, not in this can't do it out in a Nagadistan or 300 gig on Hegomaga, sank man out the sank on the cook to the bad Mossman. Sank the bad Mosnegan and Tony Vatotsk when he when starts again. In a Nagadistan to go, we know to Monahegi no. Nian Naga, Monosti and Mati Tibidotamak, Nian, not the Matagona, the Hitimat, Mosanegana. Go ahead, Anna, you're at 5 out of 9.
So they had failed to report on 5 out of 9 surface monitoring stations. Now, these are mandatory by the permit issued by Ontario. And when we looked a little deeper and we found out the ones that the company were not reporting on were specifically the downstream stations. So this alerted us and alarmed us because you need to compare upstream and downstream to get a complete picture of the impact of the mine on that really sensitive environment.
Debat mo takikote tani sinui mahuina askihittehe economaga motka gistendau hiniste antindau tu istigate kotasni tani sinui mahuttike kon ekohumaga katisioni apotek manaute pokumiseke kon ittehien dostigaste panekotti namona hegeonek antimagitehio sam gatisi spaneke kon nipi gatisi sitsohi kon dostioni apotek but the Sonic, he gone go street the Nista hosted about Mother Tech, when out the nest and then down at the Missonis and Dimehandi Tehe, Stabogati, Spanaki Gonipi, and then down and hit it about the Hex out man is the moon is hosted about Mother Tomoka and the modernist the guys in down. Gatisima have to take Nista Bogo, my he she talk and my. Nipi nesta mapugi gon misen de kika putek manaute and the ostepanica mon hekeonik. Go ahead, Anna.
Then we began to do a deep dive into the whole monitoring system, and that was how the 18-month investigation took place.
Yeah, and your sub pisimagi no homenogi nagatista gotino kokmanistaga kagisima mauto na goti goranista bona na to giskin the hegon upon magati giskin the hek. So they go to me said to Mushkego. So there's absolutely no reports.
There's some data, yes, but they failed to report on 5 out of the 9. So that's the problem. And the reason why it's so important is because methylmercury is a known problem in the region. Methylmercury was a problem in these rivers all across the north, even before the Victor project started. So we need to be very careful about any increases in methylmercury, which is a neurotoxin.
So I guess methylmercury, you call it a neurotoxin. Where does it come from? Is it natural, or is it after mixing a whole lot of other things become methylmercury? What is it?
It is one of the unintended consequences of coal-fired plants that spew these pollutants into the atmosphere, and then it travels through the atmosphere, and then it deposits in the wetlands of northern Canada, including the James Bay lowland. And it also comes from volcanoes, and that so when volcanoes spew it out as well as these coal-fired plants.
Monsieur Manat South Pogo Mosti, Istagonist and Nistamaga South is be squat take on a good time of Sohoma Homogate on Nasut Scaman at Tahote. He could take the history making next out man, it speed and state the bagitaba take on the Maudisiman at the Homo on Askio Toasty. Is the Bogi on Mr. Gapimata and Daski Hegomaga, Nipi is the nest and Nipiosti Hegomaga. Econismana Tahigomanas, a cake one. Sebuisi, Negofuis, Quani Panigapunat, out at TC, a good tennis, the maga, at Tipagitipanagutan, Yaski, Tehe Gomaga. Conmanatinist is Tagonoma, Kiaski, Manatinist, Managa, Picopanoma, Nistamagosti. Skotteoni panikmunaatinisi skottia nistä volcano gaitsiatik pimana gaisina hotti wattia ga sisi ainakin kannista kohtuuni panike skottia anmatti hani kansaatmaga anmuinosti otitti han mutsiatik ekan higi kannmunaatinnas gaisindin tahtsina nagatista noh omutit ega giti taputte panikomoge kan sta puguis gaisi pakitapasti panik. Go ahead.
The people of Northern Ontario have known for a long time, as well as the government of Ontario, that there are fish consumption advisories on many of the rivers and lakes in Northern Ontario because of methylmercury concerns.
Ekan mandin daakut TC osti asiti nanagatistano hoki kona nauttimaganistano kostinistana messa kaihtaatike kuteni gaisi istano kiyotteno.
And what that means is that at very low levels of methylmercury, tiny microscopic levels, minute quantities, it is accumulating up the food chain. And it's a problem because the bigger predator fish and then ultimately human consumers are consuming these fish, and they're the ones that are going to be at risk.
Methylmercury guys Manautubuko got DC Sinagosit Minister Moya, she's a mesak, Kumaga, Nika Bishi Signa Mesak, Timogo Chicken Hill, it's in a meso, Nistomaganti got the Pinisima Misigit in the mesak, and Nikamaga most to go Misigitic, Manauti in the minute Kahika, Kigorno, and Nistoboga, Chiet Pistiposca, got to go out the Nesta. Going me noti da besut manauti tisinagos magana marcha got tisimisig na mesak nista got the mostic and the missinagos to go on the mesisak marchik we know on this and when not tigis kamakuti and we know pistiborno is to go on a guide to Chicago go mostic na mesak Anna.
So Ontario has been providing these consumption advisories for a number of years now, and it suggests that for certain fish, people should only eat a certain number a few times a month. And certainly the people to be most concerned are women of childbearing age and children under 15.
Kumaga istagon manautin mo na sono tenista Ontario guys si gigisti na nachona sona kumaga na sona isto mo istagon beskutin ko kai si mitina no gigon isto pugutin gatik gigon isto maga Innikoch geisi mohtaban tahtana mes tani no ge mohtaban na te bugaskias gebot mohtaban itastek nis bugo vego bisimo nikoch bugo no geisi mohtaban skiasko ekomaga sagut maga and the geisi kostato sas fun maisi tastigit nehan da besut an mohtot mat skoga giskastik Ekuteni si pagato nista mana takan mosti tigiusti pistas takunauti nematuigi kon esko giskasut nista mage oskiti se koski wasa kotte maat nista gaisi mana takon ma tiusti tastigit nista pogosi kastit nahen menutu and mage kon gaisi sitpanikotte methylmercury gaisi nakata Anna.
The river already has these warnings. And then an anonymous party sent us information that showed some of the monitoring data that De Beers hadn't shared with Ontario, and it showed a tripling of methylmercury at one of the downstream stations. And this to us was very alarming because in the context of a river that is already at or exceeding what is considered some of these consumption guidelines, and any increase is a big problem.
Economago did big work of now dinner hand gagi or Istamago to go to keymots to in the hand gagi mean a good to Masanagan no guys must not take one out to Omogigon Tani Nicoha and the Hasi Tistoch Ma Mehoma guys in this two is to get my hood to get on guy Chino Hanamagi on the happy Mustima and the CB here gone Ecomaga. Minister Gomeno and the Magashi Etemagahio Hogan Nagatis Sigema Hiote Mamekandi at the Sinach Sibi Ecomaga and this storm out Tina go home again on the Istagohan the Sibi Nistabogo Gagishi of Tinigema Homogon Gashi Vistigema Hut in the Stein go Hemasanatic in the go Manauti Gistagohipan, this time in the Gohe, Manauti Spahi Panica, in the Gohe, Stagohipan Puko, Homota, Tassinipogasto, Sigmanauti, Salmaga, Nahipanication auch. Nista in the Goch, Ecomaga, Manautimaga in the Gohanima, in the Hahomach, Estabogo. Estagos out Mr. Handy, Mamma Mehati, Stoxy, Pihe, Comota, methylmercury guys in the hat. Anna.
So that was just one of many problems we've observed. And keep in mind that the problems that we've identified, some of them, yes, have been rectified by De Beers, but many of them are still outstanding. And for us, we felt we've got no choice but to call for independent monitoring and reporting. This means that Ontario would need to bring in an independent third party to take over the monitoring program, because right now it doesn't have the credibility, and we need emergency action to restore the integrity of